I just thought it would be really fun to get on here and have more of a relational time, really, and just get to know one another a little bit and see faces and hear from Kyle and Cassie, just because I love them and I love hearing their story, and just wanted them to share a little bit about themselves and their family, and where they're at and how they got to where they're at, and any encouragement that they have for us. And we're a fairly young team. I feel like I'm still figuring it out, and I follow their lead, and they're awesome leaders. And so I just wanted them to encourage us and whatever they wanted to share with us, and then have them pray for our team. And if you guys have any questions too, then you can ask questions at the end. So I'll start with us. I know most of you know our stories. I don't know Mercedes as well as everyone else, but we joined a year ago, and I was desperate to find help and took the shot with Plexus, and it has literally changed everything for my health, and has been amazing to feel like a normal person and to know what that actually feels like, which is pretty incredible. And even just the financial blessing and how the Lord has used it to provide for us has been really incredible, especially having been in ministry for 15 years and raise our own support, and that comes and goes. And even tonight we were sitting here thinking, okay, I think my paycheck this month paid for our mortgage, and that is huge for us, so even just the fact that that's happened for us in a year when I had no intentions of doing the business when I first started is really, really incredible. And so we're grateful to be where we are, and just excited to continue growing what we have in a business, because it's been so fun to be a part of people's lives and to help other people get healthy, and also, have financial blessings as well for families who need it. And so, it's been really awesome. And I think Matt would say the same thing. No, he's not going to say the same thing.
Do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't have a ton to add, but yes, I think the health change, I mean, as you guys have all interacted with Jody and heard a little bit about the story, but the health change has just been pretty remarkable, honestly. Enough that it's just, it's changed having to do medical bills and reimbursements and all of that stuff. So it's just been so life-giving for our family, just the whole mentality of our family. And I feel like we have hope in a lot of ways that we haven't had before. So not that health is the end all for sure, but it for sure helps the mentality of the family, optimism about life in general. It just influences so much in our lives. So thankful for that. It's been a journey for sure. It's been really fun to watch her work in the business side. It's been a blessing, I think, for her to exercise her gifts and how she cares for people, hospitality for sure. And how she loves people by helping them find opportunities to get healthy. Is a key part of, I would say, what her ministry is. So, what else can I share? Anything? No, it's fun. It's fun to come alongside you all and Jody in some ways, and Kyle and Cassie too. They've been a blessing to our world for sure. It's just fun to see what God is doing through Plexus. So, thankful.
One of the things I love most too is just the relationships, which I had no idea. Like, I didn't expect it to be this incredibly rich community of people that would kind of do life together, not just a business or, here, take these supplements, but really do life and encouragement. And so I love that. And that's what I want our team to be like as well. I want to foster that kind of community amongst us. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this. But I would love for you guys to just introduce yourselves and share kind of how long you've been with Plexus, and maybe what you're loving most about it so far. So Kelly, do you want to go first?
Sure. I started Plexus the end of May. So this is my 6th month: June, July, August, September, October, November. This is month 6. And what I'm loving most about it, there are a lot of things. I started just to like have a little probiotic in my life, like a lot of my friends are right now. They're interested, and I'm like, this was so much cooler than I could have ever dreamed. I love the products, but I love the people. Like you mentioned, the relationships. Like I love reconnecting with childhood friends. I mean, we've kind of commented off and on Facebook, but Plex like brought them really back into my life. I mean, even family, like my sister-in-law joined my team last week, and so we've had way more phone calls in the last week and a half than we've had in the last 6 months or year, you know, and it's been so fun. My mom, I just talked to her, and she was floored that she and my cousin that just joined my team are going with me to Super Saturday in Phoenix. And she's like, what? You and Kelly and Brittany are going to Phoenix? You guys are going to cause trouble. I'm like, I know, it's going to be so fun. It's fun, like how Plexus is bringing those people like closer and more interaction, I guess, with them in my life. And then just getting to educate them and so many other people about gut health and learning as I go myself has just really been so fun and motivating, rewarding. Okay, saying goodnight. She's saying.
And you have 3 kids and live in Idaho.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So those are just a tip of the iceberg of what I am loving about. I love the challenges. I love the contests. I'm total blue personality. So like I'm driven by all that stuff.
I still love that I got a blue on my team. Not me at all. So great.
Yeah.
Okay, Leah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Leah Lundgren. My main name actually was Leah Luster, so I love that it just kind of keeps on flowing there. So I've only been a part of Plexus for maybe 2 months now, because Kelly kept posting about all this free stuff and I kept not winning her prizes. And I was getting really frustrated. I'm like, well, I kind of don't even know what I'm commenting on. I just wanted this 7-day trial for this. I don't even know what it is. And so I was getting pleasantly frustrated. So I reached out to Kelly and she was telling me more about it. And I was like, honey, I just joined a different multi-level marketing company. I'm not going to join you. And like a week later, I'm like, okay, I'm joining you. And I'm absolutely floored by the community. Like, how do you can't really explain that to people when the prospective people thinking about joining, because I'm like, first of all, I tend to steamroll everyone because I get super excited about stuff, and then I'm like, well, I know they're gonna never talk to me again because I just freaked them out. And so, I try to limit the amount of information I give someone at first. And I'm like, you just have no idea the amount of online community and support that you're about to join, I was a part of a couple different companies, and I never had support like this. I'd have, one person add me to a Facebook group, and then it was all about selling kits or whatever. And that was kind of the extent of it. And so I wasn't expecting anything different when I joined Plexus. And so, even the fact that we're sitting in a Zoom call right now, and I randomly took a nap earlier, and and I'm just in my PJs and being able to connect with people. It's amazing. Like, you guys, I'm 97% extroverted, and I'm at home every day with 2 kids or 3 years old. I want to beat my head against a wall. So this has been an incredible, healthy outlet for me. Obviously, the physical and mental benefits of the products are phenomenal. And because I'm 2 months in, I feel like I'm just finally coming out of that die-off period. So I think I'm going to see more benefits here to come. But yeah, I agree with Kelly. Just the connections and the people have been outstanding.
Awesome. All right, Crystal, do you want to share?
Sure. So I joined Plexus back in late October, so it's only been maybe less than a month, and I'm still trying to figure everything out. I have a 4.5-year-old and a 2-month-old at home, so they keep me really busy. So just trying to figure things out with juggling 2 kids and all that. But I feel like already the products that I've been taking have helped with my energy levels a bit. I used to need to take like maybe a 2-hour nap in the afternoon, and I feel like it's significantly decreased to like maybe half an hour to like none. So that's been kind of nice, and just being able to play with my older son too while my youngest is napping is really nice, and having the energy for that is good. So I don't really have much else to add other than that. But
Yeah, that's okay. Awesome.
yeah.
Wait, Crystal, where do you live now?
I live in Kent, so that's like half an hour southeast of Seattle.
Awesome.
So
All right, Mercedes.
Well, Crystal, I have even less of a story because I've been in it for like 2 weeks.
awesome.
But I've been, as Leah has pointed out, a bit of a Plexus stalker and just absorbing everything that I can get my hands on. So far, I've just been really impressed, like you guys were saying, of the community. And I guess the hope of what could be in either financially or just my cat wants to say hello, or feeling good and okay and healthy. So I've just been really excited about it, and just really encouraged by everybody. Everybody's been so friendly. I've been I was telling my husband, I'm like, they just messaged me or they just mentioned me in a comment, or I just think it's really great because it's not I even connected through Leah, so it's not just Leah that's trying to reach out to me and educate me or encourage me. So it's just been really, really.
We lost her.
Oh, good. I didn't know if that was my connection or Wex. Mine always.
Mercedes, come back.
I know.
We lost her.
Uh-oh. She'll redo
Yeah.
this.
If ours starts acting up, though, seriously, just like
Way down.
yell at us. Ours is bad.
We'll pretend.
Challenge. Have you guys been watching the mannequin challenge?
Yeah, we could do a Plexus mannequin challenge.
Yeah, welcoming.
Oh, there she is. She's
I'm back.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Mercedes, where do you live?
I live in Tucson.
Cool.
all right.
Barely getting cool here.
Oh man. That's nice.
Sunshine. That sounds nice after today. All right, well, I think that's all of us, right? I didn't miss anyone. Okay, so Kyle and Cassie, will you just introduce yourselves and share a little bit about your story and anything that you think might encourage this group along would be awesome.
Well, we jumped in about, I don't even know, 15, 16 months ago. And, initially it was just our health hit rock bottom. And we had tried pretty much every other avenue. And I am super skeptical by nature. I'm like a research junkie. And I spent 3 months researching Plexus. And I read the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. Like when you just push Google Plexus. And I really sorted through all that and felt very firmly that Plexus was the direction that I needed for my health. And it was really, we got to a place where gut health was I don't think we realized everything that I was struggling with and that some of our kids were struggling with all boiled down to gut health. And so I said, you know what? We couldn't afford the products at all. To be honest, like we were at a place where we could not afford them. And so we had some money saved up from, well, not saved up, but we had just gotten home from a trip from China adopting our son. And we had some spending money left over. And so I used that money to buy my first thing of Triplex. And that was pretty much just we were just going to try it for 30 days. And within a week, my husband was the one who was like, Cassie, like your mood is visibly different. Like you're not exhausted. You're not laying on the couch, like visibly different. And so I started kind of thinking about it a little more, and I was like, you know what? I do feel better. So I was super skeptical. So I wasn't really expecting this to work. And I think 2 weeks into it, we made the decision that we would buy another Triplex welcome, we signed him up so we could get a second Triplex welcome pack and get him on it. And that's really how our journey began. Like I think we were not looking to start a business whatsoever. In fact, I was super, I was never going to do network marketing. I kind of saw it as something that, I did not want to be a part of network marketing. I'm an introvert, and I don't do home parties. I don't do things like that. So I was happy just taking the products. But in order to get my family and my husband on these products, I knew that we had to find a way to bring in some extra money. And starting to share it on Facebook, I reluctantly did that and was very surprised by the response. I really chose to educate people. That's always been my heart's desire with Plexus, is to educate people, because I firmly believe that gut health can transform people's health. And so really began educating people, not selling Plexus. I shared a lot of articles and really talked about the importance of these probiotics and these the X Factor multivitamins and all of that blood sugar balance. And like you guys, I was learning a lot at the same time. I knew about Candida because I had struggled with that, but beyond that, I knew nothing. I didn't know about blood sugar. I didn't know about the magnesium deficiency. I had no idea about any of this stuff. So really the first probably 2 months of talking about Plexus, I was just learning. It's kind of like I was learning and I was regurgitating it back out, you know? Yeah, I was like, it was really just learning on the job, and I still had not committed to making this a business. I was really just doing it. I just wanted enough to get our products paid for. And I think along the way, it began to snowball, and I began to see, like you guys are talking about, the community. I didn't realize how isolated I had become as a mom. We have 7 kids, and I was homeschooling them at the time, and life was hard. Like it was just hard. Inside my home, it was hard. Our days were long, as you guys know. Like being a mom is hard, and I didn't have the outlet of community. I saw my friends at church on Sunday, and maybe in a Bible study, on a weekday. But that was kind of it. And so kind of like what Matt was saying with Jody, like I began to come into my own and really see that I had skills, and I had just this desire to build community and foster a culture among my friends where we were praying for one another and caring for one another and living life together. Just happens that we were all doing Plexus as well. And that's really how it was this time last year. This time last year, we were still silver ambassadors. And we're both senior Ruby ambassadors right now. The Lord's been very generous to us for giving us just a fairly quick business. But through all of that, we have grown. I think I've grown more in 1 year personally than I have my entire adulthood. Network marketing and Plexus has forced me to really become the leader that I think was always there, that I just always, I kind of, just hid. I hid away from those skills because I didn't want leadership. I always tell, my husband's a pastor, and so it's very easy to let him lead. It's very easy to allow him to be the one that he's an extrovert. He's the one who is great with people. And honestly, I used that as kind of a crutch. And then I allowed him to I felt like I had nothing to offer, basically. And so Plexus has given me just that outlet of realizing, and that platform of realizing that there's so much more, and that these relationships and how much I needed that, and just what a gift that is. And so, you came in somewhere along somewhere in this past year.
Yeah, no, and I know as probably maybe your spouses have asked, like, okay, what's this? What are you getting into? Especially those of you who are in here just a few weeks, you're like, this crazy cult you're joining, and what's happening here? And so, Cassie is a researcher. She absolutely minimized that part of the story. She really does do her homework, and I trust her. And I trusted her. She said, well, I want to do this for our health, and so I trusted her. And sure enough, I had some really bad health issues that were starting to dissipate. Trying to stay compliant here because you're recording it, but yeah, and I began to believe in the products. But I think really what came down to it was one evening, Cassie came to me and she said, give me 1 year. Just give me 1 year to really see what we can do with this, to really jump. And I was going to be there to support her. I said, okay, I'll give you a year, because it's $34.95. What's the big deal? What's the loss? I mean, that's fine. We can figure that out. And I have always worked more than one job. Being in ministry, I've never not worked at least 2 jobs. At the time, Cassie and I started Plexus this time last year or so. I was working 2 full-time jobs and never saw my family. I was on a plane half the year, going and speaking at churches and going and speaking. And for a missions agency, I was working then also pastoring on Sunday. And so, I didn't have time for my family. And so I was kind of like, well, that's cool. That'll be your deal. That'll be really good for you to do while I'm away, or something like that. And then I think what happened was that what I began to see in Cassie was a leadership that I always thought and always knew she had. And it really allowed us to kind of start this amazing thing where not only are we feeling good, and we started seeing kind of like, as the first check came in, we're like, well, that's cool. Kind of like what Jody just said, that was cool. We can pay a car payment. And then it's like, I remember the time, it was like month. I can't remember what month it was. I can't remember what our rank was, but Cassie's like, well, I just paid rent. And I'm like, what? And so then, it was like, all right. And I think what's really been important for us is to always approach Plexus and approach this whole journey as an extension of our ministry. We are not really people who are looking to have a 6-story house and, okay, but we're just never, I really wanted to be cautious because being a pastor, there's a lot of eyes on you all the time. And our church has been amazing, and we have several people in our church that are pastors on our team, but, I was just kind of real cautious about it. But what really got me over that hump, and when I started finally buying into it and started posting and really wanted just to not be running her coattails, but actually be a part of this team, when I realized there was not a lot of difference between my ministry at the church and Plexus. I could help people. I could care for people. I could feel community. I could pray for people. And there have been several instances where some of our pastors will message Cassie and I and go, hey, we need marriage counseling, or we need this, or we need that, or, we have a cancer came into our family. And so it went so far past network marketing that it was just, like you said, like we've all said, it's been a community. But I think my belief became real at that point when I saw how much she believed in it. And so, it's kind of like I'm really shocked to see even now today, like where we're at and what God has been doing. And so as of October 1st.
Yeah, October 1st.
October 1st, I actually was able to quit my full-time job, my other job. And now I'm only part-time at the church and full-time in Plexus. And so, but it's kind of funny when I say full-time in Plexus, that means just a handful of hours a day that I'm working Plexus or message people. And my church loves it because they have me more now. So like, well, some of them love it. The ones who like it love it. But I get to actually, like, I mean, when they say, hey, can you come by and do this or that? Or can you stop by this hospital and come see somebody? I can do those things now. I can take I can have a meeting tomorrow morning with a person who wants to join our church. I mean, I have the time now because I'm not getting on a plane. I'm not having to, write reports for our missions agency or whatever, or do all these other jobs. Plexus has allowed me to actually, ironically, not take a full-time salary from my church, but be there as much as or little as I want to be. And so there's so much more freedom than can be said for just health and finances. There's time freedom. I drop my kids off and I pick my kids up from school every single day. I'm the stay-at-home dad that everybody kind of like watches me get in the line, like, look at that loser. He doesn't have a job or nothing. Seriously, I feel like they're all judging me. I'm like, yeah, it's a Christian school, what you would think. But, and that's another thing. We have our kids in private school because of Plexus. And, and we've been able to fund our third adoption now because of Plexus. And so I think what I look forward to most in our journey ahead is as we get healthier. And can I just tell you, for some of you that are just starting out as far as finding results for your with the products, it took me a long time, actually longer than Cassie, actually see results. And I'm still, have some things I'm working on that Plexus helped me get there. So
I think it was like 45 days, 60 days.
Yeah, it was a while. I mean, but I stayed consistent. I kept taking the products and kept sharing about the products and just knowing that it was going to kick in one of these days. And it did. And so so if you're in that position, just know that it gets better. I love what Leah said. She's like, I'm finally in the die-off stage. It's like you've like coming, it feels like you're finally coming out like, this day. You're like, oh my gosh, I can actually see the sun now. And I'm not like, breaking out because of the die-off, and it's a really beautiful thing knowing that your body's repairing itself. But anyway, yeah, that's really kind of our story, our journey. We wanted to leave a little bit more time for questions or anything that you guys may have.
I think kind of what we had talked a little bit about, as you're getting started, both on the products and possibly just sharing about Plexus. One of the things I really encourage you is just consistency. One of our diamond uplines, Chris McCall, he says the only difference between a silver ambassador and a diamond ambassador is time and consistency. And I truly believe that. I have seen people that have jumped out of the gate, both with the products and with the business, and didn't stay consistent, and they just kind of fell off because they doubted themselves or they doubted the process. And it's heartbreaking because like I've been in this now 15 16 months now, and I know I've seen some people's journeys like just go super fast. Other people's have been kind of probably more of a normal growth pattern. And I think the biggest thing that hurts people is comparing your journey to other people's journeys. That is the biggest thing. And I have struggled with that. Because when we were talking earlier about how this is so much like a race, both your health and your business side of this. This is like a race. And you are running your race. We all start at different starting points. Every single one of us is going to have a different starting line. And some of us are just going to start off walking. And then others are going to start off like truly sprinting. And
some of us will run ultra marathons like somebody on this call.
But it's like it's when you start looking to the left and to the right, and when you get your focus off of the finish line of your own journey is when you're going to fail. And I truly, truly believe that. Just even, I mean, we're sitting here and it's hard. We have seen people that have gone to the top of the company in 5 months, you know, that started the same day we started. And then, you know, we've seen just the gamut, and we want to really, some people are going to see results on week 1. And other people are going to need a full 90 days, maybe more. So it is so important just to keep the consistency, running your race, and knowing that it's your journey for a reason. And I truly believe, I look back at our journey and I know that it was completely handpicked by God, because he had lessons that he, at every single valley and every single mountaintop, he has had a lesson for me to learn and for you. There's a purpose in every.
Yeah, definitely. And I would also just mention too, be you. Don't. There are so many amazing personalities in Plexus, particularly on this team and your upline, people that you'll get to meet eventually as you go to these leadership retreats and you make all these amazing events. I mean, Jody and Matt were just there. There are a lot of amazing people there. And it's easy to try to, I mean, there's some great stuff that you need to replicate. That's awesome. You can learn from, but also keep your personality in it. Like, just be you. Because people that are watching you now, I mean, some of you said you're Plexus stalkers. The reason why you probably joined the team is because you trusted your sponsor before you trusted the products or the company. I mean, what do you have in your hands or in your history to trust a company that you really don't know much about, or products you haven't even tried yet? You trusted the person that's telling you, hey, this works. And so I think when you become something else, or you try to fit yourself in some sort of other persona, the people who are watching you go, man, they really changed. Like, that's not, be you. Just be who you are. And like Cassie says too, and I have this kick I'm on right now, and I could be totally wrong. Like, every leadership book will tell you what I'm saying right now is totally wrong. So don't listen. Just understand, this is just me.
Write your own book is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, one that actually sells.
I like that first book.
But I think one of the things is I keep hearing, oh, well, that person's a natural born leader. And it drives me insane. Like, it drives me insane because we all are a part of socialization issues that have affected us. Your parents, your upbringing, your education, your friends, your faith, that influences who you are. And that makes you the leader that you are. But leadership is not something someone's just born with. You have to kind of, you develop it. You said leadership's not taught, but caught, or whatever the case may be. But, you know, whenever you're in Plexus, it's easy to kind of get, and not to be cliche or have a pun, but have diamonds in your eyes and you go, oh, that person had it so easy. Or that person shocked, you know. I told Cassie all the time, I try to avoid documentary, Diamond Army. Like, I went to Diamond in 3 weeks, whatever, which never happened. But for me, that plays on my ego, that plays on my pride. I'm like, oh, why am I not there? Why am I not doing that? And then I might even reverse it and go, well, it's just so easy for them. It's so easy for them, and they're just a natural born leader. Look, you're a leader. You have your own unique skills and sets that you're going to bring to the table, and people are going to trust you and follow you before they ever will follow products or a company.
That'll reach.
My God.
That's one of the things that I loved so much about the Leaders Retreat was that room was full of very diverse people. And it just reminded me that it's for everyone, no matter your personality, your background, introvert, extrovert, age. Yeah, so diverse. Like, it was just really encouraging for me because, it is easy to get caught up in the comparison or watch someone else's journey and think, well, they're just better at it than I am. But we can all develop and grow, and we all have something to bring to the table. And I love that advice, to be you, because it's so important.
Well, and you all are, every single one of you here are pioneers for Plexus, where you're at. even in Arizona. I mean, like in Idaho and in Washington. I mean, Jody and Matt can tell you, you meet people down there, they're from Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma. I mean, it's all these southern states, or California even. I mean, it's inundated with Plexus. Oregon, Idaho, Arizona, Washington. I mean, it's a new front for Plexus. I mean, it's a new ground, and that can be a blessing in that you're introducing something new to an environment, to a people in a culture and a community. However, it's hard too, because no one's ever heard of it either. So you're sometimes introducing it to them for the very first time. And so in a weird way, you're kind of like, you're not just Plexus ambassadors, you're Plexus pioneers, and you get to be the face of Plexus for a new real area that the company's trying to break through. So that's exciting. But it takes,
and that's why I really say it's really about education. And these products will sell themselves, hands down. I believe once people try them, they give it a full 90 days. The products speak for themselves. Really, as ambassadors, it's just your job to share your story or share your friend's story, what it's done for your sponsor, your upline, but really just educate. And I think we're not here to sell, and there has never been a day where I've ever felt like I'm selling a product. And that was really, really important to me, because I did not want to feel like I was using my friends for a paycheck. And so that's been a huge blessing, is having products that are changing people's lives. And that once they get on it, they're seeing results, like visible results. And it's just our job to walk them through kind of, troubleshooting and helping them to see really the reason why these products are the best on the market. And I firmly believe that. I know some of you are just starting out. Firmly believe. I used to spend, one of my sons has, he's on the autism spectrum, and we used to spend, goodness, like $400 a month on supplements just for him that Plexus has now completely replaced those supplements. And it's a huge blessing to families and to people, whether they're healthy and they just need to maintain their health, or whether they have some serious health conditions. I have seen Plexus is for absolutely everyone. And that is what we're truly in this to help people. We're not here to sell products. But I can tell you, like, what a blessing it is to be able to be compensated. Our compensation plan is mind-blowing, like
the best.
Mind-blowing. And I didn't know anything about compensation plans when I got into Plexus, but I've heard horror stories of friends who have been with other companies and hearing that they get paid pennies for the work that they do, and that they're spending all of their paycheck on inventory and then trying to sell that inventory off. What I love about Plexus is I have the freedom just to share my story and invite other people on their own health journey. So that's a huge reason why I think so many people are, it's not just a few people are making a lot of money with Plexus. This is, like Jody was saying, like, I mean, even as a silver and a gold ambassador, you're making a decent amount of money that is life-changing for families. I mean, that's all. We were like, if I could just get to silver, that's all I wanted.
We were literally
like, in the beginning, I was like, I just need silver.
We were happy at silver.
Yeah.
We were like,
it's like an average of $400, and I was like, that's all I need.
Yeah.
Like, that would have, I mean, literally, even if we had just stayed silver, that would have made up for the gap that we were missing. So,
and I think too, just to build upon that real quickly, is you'll notice the longer you're in Plexus, and I know Mercedes and Crystal, I think you're going to start to notice as well. Maybe Leah and Kelly haven't noticed this yet, but I think they probably have. Is that there's a saying going around, one Plexus. You hear that all the time, one Plexus, and that is, I think, what makes Plexus a game changer. Is that we're rooting each other on. We don't compete with one another. When you do well, we all do well. When someone, when we as a company does well, everybody does well. So it's not a competition. We actually got introduced to another network marketing, and it was a couple of years ago, and it was just like, man, like, I feel like that's kind of cutthroat, like with your own team. you're trying to like outsell the other person, and like you get, and it just felt weird. I was like, well, that's not really what, that's really not what we want to be a part of. But I really, and I can speak for Jody and Matt with this, and because I know their hearts, and they are people that we love dearly, and we think a whole heck of a lot of. When you succeed, it is just as if Jody and Matt were succeeding. I mean, they celebrate with you. They are praying constantly for you. They've even told us, hey, pray for so-and-so, really hoping she does, just turns that corner and joins our team or whatever the case may be. And, so it is really about locking arms together and all of us succeeding. And so I've always said this, and we've tried, and Cassie is too, and we try to make this like kind of a theme of our team, is that we wouldn't be here without you, and that's the honest truth. We never want anyone to forget that we do not, every rank up that we rank up on, it's because Jody and Matt. It's because of a Kelly, because, of all these folks that have joined our team and really been a part of something amazing. But we are celebrating with you. We are celebrating as you move along in this journey, and just know that it just gets better from here, like as far as you go. And what's cool is you're going to get to a point in Plexus, because and if you decide this tonight, like if you just sit here tonight, go, you know what, that's it, I'm in. And do what Cassie does. Like, I'm just going to give it a year. I'm going to give it 1 year, 12 months, posting every day, give it all my God. And even if you have an hour to spare in the day, if you just make that commitment tonight and say, was it November 14th? November 14th? Whatever. When you have all these kids, you really just like, I think it's cold outside, it must be fall and winter. Bear hibernating, But the thing is, if you commit tonight, if you just say, look, in my heart, look, I'm just going to give it a year. I'm just going to work at it. I'm going to ask questions all the time, and I'm going to learn all the time, and I'm going to just do this for 1 year. I promise you, in 12 months, you will not regret it. I promise you, in a month, you won't regret it. And I think what you're going to find is, as you go up in the company and as your health gets better and you start building your own team, you will find the absolute joy that comes from then sharing what we're sharing with you now, with you being in your Zoom call, talking to other people's team, people on your team or someone else's team, and telling them, like, look, this works. This is really amazing, and we really do care about each other. We're one big family, and it's an amazing thing. But it takes that kind of get over that hump. Like, well, okay, I'm committing tonight. This is what I'm going to do. For the next year. So, yeah. Jody, do y'all have any questions? I'm sorry, I don't want to take up the time.
No, it's great.
You're her, and I'm the one talking. So it's.
No, it's so good. I love hearing from you guys and your heart, and yeah, I just wanted our team to hear from you. So I'd love if you guys have any questions though for any of us or Kyle and Cassie. Now's your chance.
How do you handle like boundaries with, like, I'm loving it so much that I'm having a hard time stopping it during the day. And like, I think that part's kind of annoyed my husband, even though I'm experiencing the blessings of it, but it's hard to, like, I don't know how to not respond to everything. I'm excited. I'm wanting to help people, like whether it's my team, customers, they're whatever, like I'm trying to find a balance in there that I just haven't quite nailed down.
Well, I think.
Can I start? And then you tell them. Cassie's going to give you the wisdom here in a minute.
I'm afraid what he's going to say.
No. She came to me and she had a heart to heart before I was really in.
Is that what you call it?
This is what's happening. You better be quiet about the money you've ever. No. Cassie said, and she said, well, when she talked about giving me a year, we kind of had an agreement. We said, look, and we've always kind of had this in our house. Like, we always was, I don't know, we have an interesting balance, I guess, of who does what. I do all the cooking, so it's kind of like, reverse roles in the traditional sense, but, and everything. But I just kind of, I don't know, we kind of just said that there are going to be a season where, mom's going to be in a room typing, and messaging and I don't know.
Yeah. And I can tell you that what our lives looked like a year ago is vastly different to what they look like today. we don't work very much at all, honestly, anymore.
What are you doing?
No, it's true though. Like, I mean, because in the
Oh, a
beginning,
secret.
I know, no, but in the beginning, like you're learning and you're training and you're spending so much time on self-development as well as trying. In the beginning, you're the one building your team.
Yeah.
Like you're doing all the hard work in the beginning.
Right.
Until you really get somebody who's coming alongside you and running with you,
Yeah.
it's in your hands. And so you're trying to create momentum. And that takes time. And last fall, I spent quite a lot of time every single day on Plexus because it was when, I was doing a book study. I was watching just YouTube videos. I was trying to reach out to potentials. I was following up. I felt like it was, I was spending quite a bit of time. And so I kind of made a thing with him where as soon as he got home from work, well, because I was homeschooling the kids during the day. So I tried to do a little bit during the day, but honestly, when he got home from work, we traded off. I went in my room and I was there. He put the kids to bed. We just kind of found the rhythm that worked for us.
It was like wrestling, like we tagged each other.
I was like, I'm done. But that was what worked for us at that time. It was exhausting. It was, I had to put in a lot of time in the beginning to go the pace that I wanted, if that makes sense. Like I knew we financially needed money.
Big time.
I needed to get there as quick as I could.
Yeah.
And so that's why I ended up putting in more work quicker because I wanted the results quicker. Once our kids, I guess 9 months into it, we put our kids into private school. So that drastically changed what our days looked like because then I still have my little ones at home, or like I had Clementine at home, but I was able to put in some solid uninterrupted time that, so I wasn't having to miss bedtime anymore. So it kind of has ebbed and flowed over the year. But I think really honestly, what the biggest, I am huge about boundaries. And the reason why is because you have to know, you have to keep your family as your priority. If you lose your family because of Plexus,
Yeah.
then you lost everything. There's no point in Plexus. We are doing Plexus for our family. That's the whole reason, we all have our why, like inside, why, what is the motivation of why we are doing this?
Right.
And it should be your family. And I firmly believe in boundaries. I believe that even if that means, so Ame Darling, one of her events up in Portland, she talked about, she told every one of us to turn off all of our notifications off of our telephone so that you do not, during the day, you don't sit here and your phone's constantly buzzing. She said what she does, and I know she's very, very good about this because she does not respond to me right away. Anytime I have a question, it's like a day, 2 days later. In the beginning, I was always responding within an hour. I was always like, oh, I gotta get him an answer. But I realized I was burning myself out and I was always on call.
Yeah.
And somebody told me, network marketing, there's never an emergency in network marketing. There's never an emergency. So you need to this is a business. You need to set
your office
hours for yourself, even if that means, all right, I'm going to sit down for this 15 minutes and reply to messages. And then later on, I'll do 15 more minutes or whatever it looks like for you. And I got to a point where I did not answer messages except like our group, like our team group chat until bedtime. And at bedtime is when I would answer messages. So finding what works for you, because you can't be on call all day long. You're gonna lose the joy And then the other part of that is somebody once told me about, if you're always there answering questions for people, like say on your team, that never gives them the opportunity to go look for the answer themselves and find it. And it kind of felt like harsh, like tough love for me, because I love to give answers. Like I'm like, yeah, I love it, because I love to research, and I that's just kind of something I enjoy. But I realized if I didn't answer until later that night, most of the time they already went and found the answer, which is a good thing, because you want to create leaders. You don't want to spoon feed and create followers. And so it's kind of a natural thing that happens is you put boundaries in your life, you're going to see that people are they're going to step up and raise up a little, a little more.
And like Cassie said, your boundaries will ebb and flow. Like we did a real push at the beginning where she was working a lot, and it just was an agreement between us. Then that softened, but then I'll just be honest with you, last month, the boundaries exploded again because we had an objective and a goal. We got real close to it, but we didn't make that goal. But we decided, we're going to not do Netflix. We're not going to Sabbath in the evening with one another. We're going to work Plexus, and even at leaders retreat, instead of going to a costume party, we said we're going to do this. And so there are going to be seasons where your boundaries are going to expand, and there's going to be seasons where your boundaries,
the last several days of each month, honestly, my husband just knows that.
Well, now we both have to.
Well, now yeah. But those are days, like I put in a lot of time on those days because I'm helping my team try to reach their goals and do that kind of stuff. So it's going to be different. And I think being honest with your spouse and really is talking about what works, because the last thing you want is a spouse that's going to be resentful that Plexus has taken his wife away. I mean, all honesty, you don't want that.
Yeah. I mean, it took him 4 months just to even start taking the products because he was such a skeptic himself. He's still trying to detox. But we'll make it, but he did finally even just tell me that the day that he was proud of me and was appreciating that was incredibly touching. And so I know there's hope. So those are good office hours. I think we even talked about it once, and he had recommended you have some kind of set office hours. I don't know how to communicate that to the world, or just they'll naturally hit itself when I don't respond until 6 at night, or whatever it is, but I'll figure something out. That's good advice. Thanks.
Yeah, so if I don't respond till night, now you know why.
She's pregnant.
Oh, that too. Aye.
Like, you want me to respond for you? And she's like, no, you won't say it like I say it. So
I'm way behind on my messages. But it's life. And I think that that's the biggest thing, is just to give yourself grace.
Yeah.
And to just, there's days, I mean, literally the last 2.5 weeks, I don't know, today's 2 weeks, I haven't really worked, to be honest. I sit here and I try to message and but it really is, life happens. There's going to be days you're not going to touch Plexus. And there's days you really shouldn't touch Plexus. I firmly believe you need to set weekends or whatever it looks like for your family where you're not going to do it. You need to treat this more like a job where you have a Sabbath and you have time off. Then there's going to be times where you got to push and you're missing, I missed a soccer game once, which broke my heart, one of my kids' soccer games. There's going to be seasons of, but just giving yourself grace and remembering you don't have to answer to anyone, honestly. I mean, you're a self-employed person.
One of the sacrifices you're making right now means freedom later. So,
right. And I think that's the tension that I'm trying to find a balance in, because I want to go to Maui. So I'm like, how am I going to get there? Not sitting here watching TV every night, So I'm like, I'll figure out a way, but I don't want to sacrifice who I'd like to go with, you know, in the process. So find that balance.
Great. Yeah, and that's one of the things, I think having that honest conversation and saying, look, this is what it's going to take. Like Plexus, Chris McCall, once Chris and Susie were talking, I think Sonia Dudley, I went to a training back in February with them, and they were talking about boundaries and all of that in your life. And they were really talking about you've got to have your spouse. You have to do this as a team. You really do. In order to get to some of these, you know, where you're at that point of getting to Maui, because it does take sacrifice. And the way that we worked is he took on more roles with the kids while I was working the, you know, actual Plexus. But you know, Chris and Susie McCall talk a lot about that. He was hands-on with the kids while she was working her business. And that is the kind of teamwork that I think when you're trying to get to a major, some major goals, it takes teamwork, because it's hard. It is time and it's sacrifice, but having that honest communication and him sometimes saying, you know what, I think you're done for the week. Like, you're done for the day. Like, because sometimes it's hard for us to put boundaries on our own time, because we feel the demand of our team or of potentials. So sometimes it takes your spouse bringing you back into balance.
Yeah.
So it's just an honest communication that's constantly flowing, and what works in what season. You know, it really is. I think we've been through a lot of different seasons.
Okay.
But I think you're finally on board. A little laugh. Yeah, when he first saw that big paycheck, he was like, "Oh, I kind of like this."
Very pastorally of me.
Yeah, right.
You're like, yeah, I know how to shepherd that money. I know how to be a wise steward of that. Well, does anyone else have just maybe one more question, and then we'll wrap it up later for some of you.
Crystal.
No.
Not yet. Their questions will come.
Yeah, they will.
Well, thanks you guys so much for being on here. It's just fun to what feels like be all in the same room for an hour, and just really thankful for you, Kyle and Cassie. I mean, Matt and I appreciate you so much, and just all that you do and how you encourage us and pray for us and lead the way. And I love the example that you're leading for us. So thanks for that. But would you guys mind praying for our team, and then we'll just close it from there?
Go ahead.
Am I only?
Yes.
No. Father God, I thank you so much for this evening. Thank you for every family represented here right now. Lord, Lord, there's not by any stretch of the imagination were we all in this season together at this moment. And so you are sovereign over that. You have placed certain people in this position to work together and build this community. And Father, we pray that we glorify you in all that we do in Plexus. Lord, I pray that each person here this evening is comforted knowing that they have so much value because you love them and you made them. And you sent your son to die for them. And so, Father, may we not have to feel like we have to perform in Plexus because you've already performed for us. But Lord, may we have fun. May we enjoy. May we work hard, do everything unto you, but God, knowing that we can rest with the understanding that you love us and that you have placed this in our lives for our good and for your glory. God, I pray for Matt and Jody as they lead this team. And Lord, what an amazing couple that I am honored to call my friends. They have been leaders for us in times and seasons, and a constant inspiration for us, Father. And so I pray that give them great influence, and God give them time and energy to be able to not just lead the scene, but to continue to lead their family so well and love them so well. Father, may we go forward after this evening with your love in our heart, and such a time and season in our country where love needs to be spread more. So, Father, may we give us platforms and opportunities not to just share Plexus about the freedom it brings and the health that it brings, but that, Father, that there is something even greater that is control and that is over us and that it loves us. Lord, so bless us, bless what we do, and may we do everything like you said. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Guys.
Thank you.
It was good to meet
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Nice to meet you guys too.
So fun to see
I'll have
you.
more questions later, but
Anytime.
Yeah. Hey, and that's one thing I wanted to say. Like, feel free to just. By the way, if any of your husbands want to talk, love to talk to them. Obviously, I can talk to Matt too,
Obviously,
as
you
well.
need to get Kelly's husband.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, he has the magic touch of like totally getting guys on board. So if you need help.
Ryan and Kyle are like the two opposite ends of like personality. Ryan is so even keel, like emotionless, and, like, super quiet.
I have.
Very of me. He is my green. Like green is the lowest. I don't do facts. I don't wait patiently. Like he's very loyal, but like stable makes me.
He calms you.
Yeah, he's very important in my life.
Yes.
Crystal, do you know what they talk about when they're talking about red, blue, green, yellow?
no.
I know. Like totally my vocabulary though right now, because it's like how I'm viewing the whole world through these personalities.
Yeah, it's different colored personalities. So like I'm yellow, he's yellow. That means mainly that we're people.
People.
What do you call that?
I'm a person.
Help people, helpers.
Helpers. Yes.
Okay.
That's kind of like our motivation. Green are like people who are research fanatics. Red are powerful leaders, and blue are crazy people. No.
Have all the fun. Blues like the party. We like to meet lots of new people all the time and talk forever. It's so awesome.
Blues are overwhelming. They're overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a
But
whole
you
lot
can
of
change. You
blues.
can change. You
There's
can
not a
change.
whole lot of blues.
Because I was red, and
That's
now
true. He used to be red.
I actually care for people now. So.
Yellow and red are close seconds, and they tied. So, I mean, like 15 or 20 points higher than yellow and red were. And I read the chapter in the book. I was almost crying. I was laughing so hard because I was like,
That's
it was exciting, but that's a lot of me right there.
All right. Well, you guys, thanks so much for having us. We really appreciate it. Super fun. All right. Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.